Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Susan's Life with ALS. I'm Susan and I have ALS. Today I'd like to talk about how I cope with travel. We have a trip right now to Las Vegas coming up to celebrate my husband's birthday and his retirement. This will be the 5th time we've gone to Las Vegas in about a year and a half. Now, why we choose Las Vegas is because they give you things. They comp your room. This time they've comped a suite. We're staying for 3 nights. They have given us a $300 food credit and a $450 credit for gambling, and we're not even big gamblers, so that is quite a piece of change. So that's why we like going to Las Vegas. I'm going to use that as an example in my scenario, but these tips would apply to anywhere you go if you're disabled in some way. Okay, so to start with, I always bring my walker that transforms itself into a transport chair. So that I have the option of walking with the walker or being pushed in the transport chair. I bring one medium-sized suitcase that we check, and then one carry-on bag that I can use as a crossbody bag. I don't bring much on the plane. The airplane flight is 2 hours and some couple minutes, so I don't have to bring much. So when we get to the airport, we're able to park in handicap parking, and we're flying out of a small regional airport in the town I grew up in, and it's right by Boeing. And so it's very convenient, and then the walk from handicap parking to the terminal is 50 feet. I don't know, it's really close. So at that point I'm walking, and my husband is pushing both suitcases, his and mine. And we check in, and then at that point we're checking our bags. So I just have my crossbody carry-on, and my husband has got a backpack. So at that point we switch the walker into the transport chair, and then he pushes me to security, to TSA, which isn't very far in our small regional airport. And then we go through security. Now that's a little tricky because I have no balance, and so these TSA agents are the kindest people I have ever encountered from TSA. So what they do, my husband walks me over to the metal detector, and then the TSA agent sticks her hand through the metal detector, and then I'm able to scoot myself through the God, am I going to keep saying that? Metal detector, and then I stand there and they check my walker transport chair, you know, make sure I have no bombs, which I wouldn't, and then I just get back in the chair. I didn't have to remove shoes or anything, and I pick up my bag that had gone through the conveyor belt x-ray machine, put that back on, and off we go to sit to wait for the airplane. Then I when it's almost time to board our plane, I go up to the counter and they tag my walker to so that I can take it all the way to the airplane, and then they take it and put it in the cargo hold, and then when we land they bring the walker back up to the same place, and I have it right by the plane to walk up the gangway. So we get on the airplane first because they announce if anybody needs extra time, are disabled, or I don't know what all they say. So we get on the airplane first, and find our seats, and then I always go potty before I get on the plane, and then I'm planted there for 2 hours and some change. Then the process repeats when we get off the plane, except for we get off in turn, how you do on an airplane. And then once I get to the outside of the plane to the gangway, there's my walker, and I use that to walk up the gangway, and we're in Las Vegas. So at that point, we switch it back to transport chair, and then my husband wheels me, and we go to baggage claim, at which point I change the transport chair back into a walker, and my husband has the 2 bags, and we go outside from there, which isn't very far, from the baggage claim in Las Vegas, and get a taxi and go to our hotel. So then we get to our hotel, they unload my walker, I use it as a walker at that point, and I walk into our hotel. My husband has the bags, then we check in, and they take the bags and get them up to our room. My husband, we switch it back to transport chair, and then in past trips, then he has just wheeled me up to the room, but this time I was able to order and reserve a 3-wheeled motorized scooter like I have at home, and it will be at the bell desk at our hotel when we arrive. So that is really going to open the world up for me, because I'll be able to drive that all up and down. The place we're staying, the Delano, is hooked to the Mandalay, and then there's a mall that goes really far from Mandalay to Excalibur to Luxor, and you can walk the whole thing. I'll be able to drive the scooter the whole thing, so I'm pretty excited about that. And everybody knows that casinos are really big places, so the scooter is really going to come in handy this time. We do have a couple of shows that we're going to, and for those shows I will bring the walker transport chair. So my husband will I'll get in the transport chair, we'll go down to catch a taxi. The taxi then from our hotel would take us right to the venue of the show that we're going to. At that point, I can keep it as a transport chair, or I could do it as a walker. And then the seats we have at both the shows we're seeing are for handicapped people, and they're right by the entrance, and they're great seats. So I really feel like Las Vegas is catering, they cater to kind of 2 separate groups, kind of the millennials that party like crazy, and then baby boomers who want quiet and to see a couple of shows and not have a big noise and rigmarole. And that's why we keep going back, because they've just been catering to that kind of vacation that we want. So that's how I travel, and how I cope with traveling with ALS. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll answer. And thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe. It's free. It's the freest thing in the world, and I would appreciate it. I love giving information, how I cope with ALS and everything that goes with it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.